What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Hope you're all doing well today. The nostalgia is absolutely flowing today. We have got all three of the desert type tracks from MX Alive made by Maplar put into MX bikes, and I won't lie, so we've got Grandview here and we've also got Piston Valley. I knew that these tracks were kind of linked together in the actual game themselves, but I never knew that Catapult Canyon was. Which is weird because it makes so much sense, but I think where the lighting in MX Alive was different for Catapult Canyon, it just made it feel so much different for me. We also it's called Mullock Madness here, and I won't lie, I have no idea how it's meant to go, because we've got arrows going down the straight, it kind of goes this way and then back onto the track, and I've got no idea how it goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and do a few laps of each of these main tracks, and then at the end, if I'm fancying it, I'll give this Mullock Madness a go and see how it goes. Hopefully the track markings tell me the correct way, but we'll see. But straight off the bat, let's get some Catapult Canyon going and try and reminisce those good old days of Alive. Right, let's try out all the Catapult Canyon then. I apologise if it's a little bit framey. I am rendering a video in the background, but I think on the YouTube side of things it'll be okay, because it should still be below 60 FPS. So the bike I'm on the Honda 450, and I'm rocking the Team France MX of Nations bikes, actually. Reason being is I really don't have any other nice skins. Now, I'm hoping that my memory and nostalgia kind of pulls me through these tracks of knowing where to go. A little fun story about this track, actually. So, I mean, I was a massive tryhard on Alive, as some of you might know, if you're newer to the channel and don't know. I used to actually have my PlayStation account back in the day used to be called MX_Alive. That's how tryhard it was. And obviously I put in a hell of a lot of hours, so I was quite good at the game. I had people know me online just from like my position on leaderboards that I'd never spoken to before. I had a friend come round to my house once and I was playing on Lexington, and I joined an online lobby and someone was like, "Oh my god, that's MX versus ATV_Alive." Just because I had a lot of hot laps on the Lexington track. But this track here, so I never really struggled much online just because of how many hours I spent on the game. I always tend to win quite easily. And I came on here and I got my shit pushed in once. And I was like, who on earth is that going so fast? And his gamer tag was J Vanderley. I think it was 225 was the number afterwards. And then a couple years later, I'm playing not MX Bikes, I'm playing MX Simulator. And whose name do I see? I see a Jordan Vanderlei who plays MX Simulator as well. And I just think it's so funny how it's such a small world of used to play this on PS3 and saw him, and then years later hopping onto the PC side of things, playing Sim, see him again. And there's things like that I love about the motocross community in terms of gaming, because it is so small and niche. You do see a lot of the people a lot of the time. I made some good friends on the older Live days, and I think a lot of it came from MX Online tournaments. I had a very good streak, to be fair, from Reflex to Alive. It was those were the good old days, in my opinion. I'd love to go back to having things like that. And it's crazy that it really happened, because I remember the online systems on these games, I think they were quite wonky at the best of times. You know, you could randomly lag out here and there. I know on Alive you could get whole lobbies disbanding and results not showing correctly at the end, but it's the game that kind of makes it, doesn't it, and makes people commit to it and play them all this time. And I wish so much that I could, oh god, get a emulator working on my PC, because I don't really want to have to go through the trouble of digging out my old PlayStation, installing everything, going and buying a capture card and stuff, because it's a pain in the arse. It's not really worth it for like 1 or 2 videos, is it? Unless I do like an entire Alive career mode. I doubt that do the online servers even work on this game anymore? I mean, you guys will have to let me know that. I'm not entirely sure. That's not survivable. Okay, we'll do another 1 or 2 laps. I didn't realise how short the lap times were around here. I thought the tracks were a lot bigger for some reason, but oh well. I was lucky enough in very early build, when there was no real decals on the track or anything. The roughness and the ruts weren't all finished. Maplar did send me a very early version just to get my thoughts on it, and I think I was quite happy with it at the time. The only thing that I was conscious of is, as you know, the sand traction in bikes it leaves a little bit to be desired, is all I'm going to say. And I said maybe that's the only thing you can think about, is maybe put in a normal type of traction so the track rides fast, but he was very adamant that he wanted to keep it as sand, and I think it's actually a good call. So I'm glad that he's done it. And the reason I think that it's a good call is in terms of the track scaling. So obviously it's it's very hard to scale tracks from different games onto another one. So on the 450 here, some of this track feels very, very small. But then if you've got the sand traction, you can't carry as much speed everywhere. And it makes sense. Let me try the outside here and try doubling into this, what I call a supercross type section. Oh, there we go. And can I get all the way out? Oh, no, close. Boing! Over that. Lovely. Lovely jubbly. I suppose if we're going back to talking about people that I've found on one game and then found on another game, I love name dropping people because they probably have no idea about these things until I mention them. I also used to play against a guy on Reflex who he had many names. To be fair, he went from I think his name was Best of Mora, Best in the US, Best of Nations, blah blah. I changed his name multiple times, and then years later, before I even bought MX Simulator, I was watching. I think it was a This Is Death live stream of one of races, like 2014-ish season, something like that. And I see an Edward Mora on there. And I was like, oh, I recognise that name. I go and message, and yeah, of course, it was him. So I just love it. I love how small these communities are and how friendly people can be. At the same time, I look at our community sometimes and I go, what on earth is this? Like, some people are so disrespectful, but I'm not going to get into that too much because that'll kind of kill the vibe. Kill the vibe of the video. We're having good vibes today. It's a nice... very nice. I don't want to, it's not a compound. I was going to say it's a nice compound that Maplar's released here, but it's just a set of tracks, and it's very nice seeing how they all tie together. Really, I've only just looked up and noticed the skybox. Hopefully this hasn't got collisions. And look at that, like proper canyony vibes. That's really cool. I wonder if he's made that himself or if he's got that offline. It looks very 3D. It looks like I'm right out there, but of course I'll fall off the edge of the map if that was the case. So we'll keep things going this way, and I quite like interacting with you guys in terms of comments. So, little thing for this video, because I got a lot of interaction on the Legends video when I was asking kind of what people could do to improve it. Got a lot of interaction on the Hillside compound that Cody James made when asking you guys what sort of videos you like. So, in this one, what was your favourite MX vs ATV Alive track? Very interested to know. Because mine was probably Lexington, even though it was a DLC. I think the amount of laps that I spun on Kanoko to max out the levels, just doing it all time, like 3 laps or whatever it was, to get the max experience and money possible. God, that was painful. But again, another fun track, just a short figure of 8 in the snow. But let me know. I'd be very interested to see. That's Catapult Canyon done now. Let's go and try some Piston Valley, I think. But I think that out of the 3... Piston Valley back in the day was probably my favourite one. I'm not sure why, there's just something about it. And there was a lot of... So with the Alive physics, I feel like if you leant back whilst turning and you had like a little single or a bump in a corner, your bike would basically stay flat to the ground. And this track had a lot of that you could use and abuse. Let's see... Oh god, how big is this jump going to be? Oh, I actually timed that perfectly. Fair play. Lovely jubbly. Hopefully I can do that every lap, because that's such a steep landing there. I dread to think of how bad the bounce is going to be. Trying to keep my bloody bike straight from the sand traction. That's the difficult part. And oh yes, I remember you should absolutely rail this corner on live and send it up here, and then there should be a steep uphill. There is. I'm going to take the right hand side, see if we can get a big old jump up there. Oh my god. I wasn't even close to making that. Okay, we'll take the left side next, and then steep drop off. Yes. Very small, actually. The scan on that's a lot smaller than I thought it would be. Then it should jump up to the right here. I believe it does. Oh, God, I love this. Just reminiscing. It's weird as well, because you know what's coming up, but you don't know how to tackle it, because obviously it's a different game, different feeling, different bikes, and all that good stuff. I think you used to be able to jump through this whole section in 2 jumps as well. I think maybe outside, going triple, and then step in over here. I'll remember that for next lap. That'll be good. Up and over this, and the finish line should be here to the right. It is. Finish line's not too big. That's fine. I know it was very small in game as well. Then hook round to the left. Yeah, I do think overall the scaling is smaller. It definitely feels like I get from corner to corner quicker. But I know the MX bike's gameplay overall is a bit slower, so maybe the times work out about the same. I'm not about to go and Google and research old lap times on these tracks from back in the day to see how they compare. But as usual from Mr. Maplar, he's made something very fun and enjoyable here. So I definitely recommend going and downloading this, especially if you're an older live player and you want to go and want to reminisce in those old days. I do certainly miss them. Oh god, don't go over the bars, thank you. I like that there's some rough in places as well, and it's not just perfectly smooth. I think if it was like a perfectly flat track, it could get a little bit boring, but it's done a very good job of adding just that right amount. I think the only other thing I'll change, but it's probably quite a controversial thing, is some more ruts in the corners to hold you. Now, obviously on a live, there wasn't much in the way of ruts at all. It was mostly flat everywhere on every track. But obviously the game, you stuck to the ground like glue on that game, so it wasn't too bad at all. I just think on bikes you sometimes need that little bit of help. I'm in completely the wrong gear. Third gear is not the move there. Let me remember to go into second next time. I feel like that's a really bad habit that I have on the Honda as well. Is for some reason I always treat the Honda as like such a heavy, boggy bike. I probably need to be a bit more aggressive on it rather than being so gentle everywhere. And I do want to apologise as well. I've still not got the controller overlay working. I'm not sure what it is. I've just came back from my 2 weeks and it just isn't working. It recognises the controller being there, but all the buttons seem to be missing. Like it's not picking up that I'm pressing any buttons, which is very, very strange. And it's just a random website that I use. It links itself into Streamlabs. Oh my god. So no idea why it's not working. Hopefully it will fix itself randomly at some point. I know Chicken had some issues with it a while back and they just went away by themselves, but we'll see. So if you do like seeing that controller overlay and you use it as a way of improving your riding by seeing what I'm doing, I do apologise. Not much I can do about it. Let me see, what's this track look like with the shaders off? Oh, it's not too bad actually. It looks alright. I know sometimes these skyboxes where they're really bright, but if I turn, like, look how bright that skybox is when I turn it on. What, do I leave it off for the rest of the video? I feel like it's going to be a split decision, 50-50 either way. I'll burn my retinas out some more. We'll leave it on. I want to do another lap of this because, first of all, I want to hit... Oh, for God's sake. I want to hit the bloody rhythm section that's coming up in 2 corners nicely. And I've got one road on right now, but I'm not seeing anything at all on the track in terms of lines showing. So, I'm hoping that that's just because of the decals. I do think... I'm pretty sure I can triple in there. If I hit that corner absolutely perfectly, maybe. Let's try and get a fast lap in. I feel like I've been like tootling around really slowly every lap. But it's quite a deceiving track. It's very tight and twisty, especially with all these flat corners. And where it is sand, it can get a little bit difficult to keep your momentum going. Maybe I should just try using some of these outsides a little bit more. Be a little bit more aggressive on the power. See, there's tiny little built-up bits around the outside. Step up there, double that, quad that. There you go. Try and scrub this downhill, get a bit steezy. Oh god. I say scrub it, my tyres buddy grabbed on the takeoff and I didn't have a chance to get the back end stepped out at all. I tug this a bit tighter on the inside so I don't hit that weird little bump. Rub this one a little bit. I prefer this inside right here. The outside one seems to be a bit sharp, a bit abrupt as you come into it. I feel like the inside you can carry a little bit more speed. And I don't think there's any way of me clearing this whole thing from the right hand side, but I don't think it was designed to do that. I think if I remember on a live correctly, used to step up once and then hit another single, and I think I always used to take the left hand side there. Up, jump into this inside. Oh, there's a tiny little raised bit there that would be nice to get into if I could. If I keep blowing it. Nice little double out the corner. Right, this is the important bit. I want to be in second gear, go around the outside, and a span. God damn it! Oh, it's so frustrating. I'm sorry, I need to turn around. I want to hit it again. That's like the one part of the track that it looks like I can actually turn into a rhythm section. It's super crossy. Ah! Oh, boing. No, not close enough. I'm sure someone can do it. Just not me. Not today. I'm still trying to rebuild up my bloody speed after being off for so long. And yeah, I'm actually down horrendous recently. No idea why. But there's track numero dos done. On to Grandview. I genuinely cannot remember the full layout of Grandview. I'm not sure why, it's just not sticking in my head for me. So this one might be a little bit rougher than the other two tracks I've done. But looking at the track map, first of all, it's a very short track. I could not remember the tracks being this short back in the Alive days. But it looks to be a lot more of a fast track, a lot more wide open than Piston Valley was. Not quite as many turns. Oh, I do remember this bit, and you jump up, it should turn left at the top of this. Yes, there we go. And then there should be a long, like, straight into the big-ish jump. Lovely. Oh, God, don't scrub that. Okay, note to self, do not scrub that. Oh, God, I thought I was going to get a lot more pop than I did. I think if I remember, back in the day, that big jump that I just tried scrubbing and absolutely wadding myself on. I feel like when you used to ride the smaller bikes, like the 125s and stuff, and the track got really eroded, it would actually be quite hard to clear, if my mind serves me correctly. I do remember the erode on Alive, I think was really, really good. I know every now and then it'd get a bit funky and you just get ripped off the bike, but for a game that old as well, very, very, very impressive. Oh, that finish line's tiny. Okay, well, let's not do that. And to the left, so yeah, very, very short lap time. Let's see what sort of lap we can do. If I was to guess, I'd say like 1 minute, 1:10 maybe, if you're on a good lap, 1:10-ish. No idea. Let's find out. Drop down here. Round to the right. Just corners like that. It'd be so nice to have a little rut, but obviously that's all down to the. Well, I suppose Maplar was trying to create a exact replica, which I cannot argue with at all. He's done a very good job of this. Oh, as I say, the nostalgia flowing through my veins, and I'm glad that. So obviously the first track that he made was the JS7 Alive compound, and I'm glad that he's kind of taken that and rolled with all the Alive tracks, because I think so many people enjoy playing these, and it's nice getting things like this in other games. I did see on the earlier video on the longest track in MX Simulator, I did see a few people saying that they really wanted that in bikes, and I know that Braden does play MX bikes every now and then, so maybe who knows, we could get that one in MX bikes as well. Maybe I think I might slide in his DMs after I finish recording this video and try it out. So I was very close in terms of those lap times. It's a 1:02, so I think that people much better than I could definitely get into under the 1 minute mark. I mean, I'm already a second up on my lap. See how this one goes. Just need to try and be smooth, not override it. Just get onto the throttle nice and slowly. Just don't want to step the back end out. Keep third gear here. Third gear will be much better. Playing it a little bit lower that time. Oh my god, you see the front end twitching on me. Jumps up to the left. It's nice seeing all of the banners on the other tracks as well, because it really lets you know how they link together, which is not something that was the case on Alive, I don't believe. Pretty sure when you was playing one track, all of the banners on all the other ones would completely disappear. Jumps up, ducks down to the left. I think, to be fair, I think this one flows the best out of all three. The one that I know the least flows the best. Oh, there we go. Under a minute. Lovely. Was that a 58 or 59? That's 58. 58.81. So there's your hot lap of the video. That felt like a pretty decent, solid lap, even though it was my second lap on the bloody track, or third full lap. Let's say. I mean, you miss a single corner on lap 1, so it doesn't really count. But yeah, 3 laps in. That's not a terrible lap time whatsoever, I don't think. Getting somewhat of a bit of a flow going. I don't know if it's placebo. You remember I mentioned that stream I done the other day on the JV MX Nation track, and I was just down horrendous and playing awful. So I did kind of redo all of my settings, not suspension wise, because I still run stock. I don't have anything. But in terms of actual controller stuff and all of like the lean settings and direct lean and all that good stuff, I went and redone it all, and it might be placebo. I'm not too sure, but I definitely feel a lot more comfortable in the game now than I did the other day. Someone else did say that all of their things got reset after updating to beta 18. I know that... Oh god, flat landing that. I know that if you had setups on 17, the setup is still there, but when you select it, the values are all default. So it's like it's not actually a setup, it's just named, like, it's default, but it's just named differently. So I'm wondering if maybe something like that happened to all of my config and stuff, where it shows that it was what it was, but it was actually reset to default. I don't know. I'm just spitballing, but placebo or not, I feel much better than I did the other day, and I think I've just been putting more time in. I played a bunch with Charlie the last 2 days as well. We got a couple videos coming out together, so look forward to those. I think that's probably enough on Grandview. It's definitely my favourite of the 3 so far. I do want to just go and try and tackle this Jesse Mullup track as like a hidden 4th one. No idea how it goes. As I say, the arrows and stuff, they're all over the place. I feel like it probably just combines a couple of the tracks together. But yeah, let's go see how that one rides as well. Okie dokie. So, you guys won't have seen this, but I've spent the last 5-10 minutes absolutely scratching my brain trying to work out how on earth this track gets laid out. So basically, the map that we are looking at right here is a little bit of a... No, it's not lying. Wait, hang on. So it goes that way, drops down. I'm just looking at the yellow. So it goes up through there, drops down there. It's that. Oh no, that is right, and it goes there. So what I was getting confused on at first is where the red joins the blue. I was going the wrong way. So I need to go up that hill backwards, do a bunch of the track backwards. I'll do that for... Right, that makes sense. It fully makes sense. I'll show you what I mean in a second. But there's some banners that don't really point you in the right direction. But I'll show you when we get to them. So we start off here on Catapult Canyon. Or actually, I can't remember which one's which now. I don't know if is this Piston or is this Catapult? I think this one's Piston. Either way, we'll start this. We'll jump up and over. We'll do our normal quad. Scrub our way down the downhill triple, where the back end always seems to grab traction for me. And this is where things start getting a little bit interesting. So, we're going to drop down here. And then, at first I thought I meant to go that way on the map, but that's not the case. We go over here, hit this little downside, hit this part of the track backwards. Boing, boing, boing. And then we join onto the track here. And here's what was confusing me, because these banners right here, in my opinion, don't make a whole lot of sense, if I'm being completely honest. I just want to see. Didn't know if this was part of the track or not, but no, it's not. That's fine. I'm getting confused. So, basically, you go across here, you go between the tyres, and this is where you join onto the track. So now we're hitting one of the other tracks, but in reverse. So kind of cool that we get to use tracks in all different aspects. I'm going to step down here. Oh, I reckon I can triple down that. Please don't backflip me. Nice, thank you. And then, now you can see up in the top right on the track map, we are actually on a track. Although, it's very, very weird riding parts of these tracks backwards, because they don't really work. And I'm very surprised that he didn't change the terrain a little bit to make it work a bit better backwards, but maybe that's part of the challenge. Maybe that's why it's called Mullock Madness and not... Oh, Mullock, very nice, easy rideable track. Come on, get up it. I just want to do like 2 laps of this, just so you can get an idea of the full layout. That's not the full... Oh, come on, what am I doing? Sort yourself out. I've already spent 10 minutes going around in circles on here. Now I know where it goes, and I'm riding it like absolute trash. Up and over this, and then big jumpty jump. Okay, this probably the best right on the track. Actually, it's really nice how that one hooks you in. Go up and round this corner, then get on the binders, go skirt round to the left, then round to the right and up onto the fastest bit of track. Have I got enough speed to get up and over the whole thing? Yes, I do. Do not send this because it goes into a sharp 90 down to the left. And then I think we go back onto the Supercross section in a second. We do. It's over there on my left-hand side. I want to try and get through the Supercross section cleanly as well, because I've bounced my way through every single time. Can I go step on? Can I step off and then triple? There we go. Got it now. When you step over, you can only triple and then single out, and you get a horrible bounce off the single. So I think going triple, or step on, off, and then tripling out is definitely the way to go. Also, oh, try tripling up and over this little bit as well. And here, literally, go straight bozo. I have been the biggest example of rip bozo in the last 10 minutes. It's unreal. I hope I cut it out correctly, because otherwise you guys are going to have a very boring 10 minutes of me wandering around not saying anything. And then this is the weird bit. We go back onto Piston Valley, but go through this rhythm section backwards, and it doesn't really flow too well. But either way, it's it's fine. And then we basically get back to survive. Get back to here, and that essentially is a lap. It was these banners and markings here on the track that really confused me. So I'm not sure if that's an error or if that's just me being a massive Dumbo. But either way, it's fine. I've got it worked out now. If anybody else has played this and was completely confused on which way it goes, you now know. Oh, go. Although I'm sure other people are better at literally reading a map better than I am. Can I hit this triple down? There we go. If I didn't tap the back brake then, I think it would have been game over for me. I have no idea how you meant to survive that. That is wild. Because if you send that, you're just not making the corner at all. So maybe that is a slower down and or kind of scrub your speed off and then single it out kind of job there. Yeah, these little bits here, the backwards parts, not a massive fan of, if I'm being honest. The 3 replica tracks, very, very well done. Grandview being my favourite, just throwing that one out there. It's very, very fun and enjoyable. This one's a little bit too chaotic for my personal tastes, but go off, King. You do you. I'm going to finish this lap off, and then I'll be happy to call it a video there. It's really nice, and I'm glad that So I think Maplar could have quite easily just released each of these tracks one by one, but it's nice that he's put them together for us into one massive compound. So obviously I'll put the link to go and download it if you want to in the description, and I would definitely recommend it, especially the OG tracks. This one is a bit of a weird one. I'm not sure in which situation you'd want to use this one on. Up to your discretion, I guess. Just not a bit of me. It's definitely the longest track, of course, but that was to be expected if it's mixing all three together. So we go step on again. Oh, I overjumped that a little bit. It's fine. We'll just treat it as a whoop section. Stock suspension for the win. And round to the right, round to the left, a step up. Then we go down to the left, and that is going to finish it off for us. Down we go. Stretch this one out, hopefully downside that little bump. Lovely jubbly. And finito. Lovely stuff. So, that's going to do it from me. I apologise that the last 5 minutes has been a little bit chaotic, but I think that's just the nature of the track. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Most importantly, if you could drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hope you have a lovely rest of the day, whatever it is that you're up to, and until I catch you in the next video. Peace.
Wanted to make it, I guess. I know I live with the criticisms. People are giving opinion, they put it upon a pedestal. A pendant for your thoughts, but I never asked for change. My work ethic's ridiculous, and yours is not the same. I swear to God that I wrote it all with a pure intention. The truest testament with no excessive false aesthetics. You couldn't imagine or fathom the effort I'm exuding. My heart and soul in this shit, but yet they force me to prove.